welcome back, everybody, as this is Eve 1.3, Episode 3. Hopefully one entire segment of Eve, hopefully. As we don't have the issues that plagued us last time. If not, though, Twitch has been having some issues over the weekend, and hopefully they're going to be fixed for today's streaming. We have, again, directly below me is Puma, who's playing Hal. Corporate war vet that lost his arm in the battle, suffering flashbacks from corporate warfare, like flashback stuff, because that's true. And he's effectively the limo driver and drone specialist in this group. The chauffeur originally for the spoilt princess. Rabbit's character, who is a Zeke, which is their term for psychic, an accidental Zeke due to some past of individuals that wanted to unlock the psychic potential to get it out of the hands of the giant corporate goons before the group was disbanded and put to death. A lot of their experiments got out, and one of them was an MMO that unlocked psychic by the people that were playing it. And so this is really tough because her father was the senator, the pro-advocate for the Racial Purity Act, which the North American coalition where this game takes place has just acted on. And it really sucks when your daughter ends up being one of the things that are being regulated and all that. So she was kind of being given some money to go disappear and hide for a bit, and the chauffeur was going to look after her. And the friends that she has, Crow, Lady T cannot be with us today. She's got some technical issues going on, but Crow is the best child a father could buy, which is literally the case, as she was gene modded as a perfect child, but because daddy was always traveling and mommy never really paid attention to that much, she rebelled out and became a singer known as Crow, which is kind of going against all their wishes, but the perfect rebel child. And of course the parents were good friends of each other, so both Princess and Crow grew up together, and their names are the same, and that was not even planned. That's their, that was just, they just happened to have the same first name. And then one of the friends that they met online, which was their token poor friend, was Atlas, our hacker. And she too, this is where everyone is going. Hey Rizzy, how you doing? And this is where everybody is now going to be living, because a lot of chaos happened the last couple of episodes. And let's not also forget a friend of Puma's and bodyguard through Puma's advice to Crow is Mr. Smith, an android. And we'll just leave it right there. Currently being played by the sleeping cat, otherwise known as Renset. He doesn't look that cute, I'll be totally honest with you guys. He's just, we're just going to say there. Alrighty, so that is our group that we've got going together, individuals. There was a great concert and party on the one. Oh, let me just slowly bring some of that audio back up in the background. So we got some little bit of background tunes going on the channel. There we go, just a little bit. I'll have some in the background there. I really love the... Whoops, yeah, we're going to deafen everybody now. There we go. Just a little bit. So... And... also... yeah. So there was a concert Crow was holding, and that's when the proverbial shit hit the fan. As apparently terrorists had targeted Princess's father, and their house was hit. And apparently hit squads seem to come after her as well. It's kind of confusing of what's going on. German mercs of some sort have been trying to hunt down a killer. There's an ex-bounty hunter that's currently for extreme violence was pulled out of his license to be a bounty hunter was revoked. Yet he's somehow involved in this as well. Just recently, this whole political thing that's going on has suddenly become the forerunner for Lady T's father, Crow, her character's Crow's father, who was a good friend of Mr. Alexander Snow, which is the father of Princess, who we're not too sure if he's dead or not. He does have a dub service, which is basically a mental clone of when his mind is last backed up as it was. Only the wealthy can afford this, and if you've seen something like Altered Carbon, that's a good example of how that process may work. But we don't know if he is alive or not, and we haven't had the chance because we've been kind of on the run. After the last little bit, we've literally turned off the tap system. The tap system is your identification, it's your chip that attaches to the internet, everything, It can be turned on and off, but it's a pain in the ass to have it turned off because that's all your banking and all that kind of fun stuff. But also your tracking and hacking, things. So they've been turned off, and they've now gone from the nice, rich section of town down to Atlas, where her and her father live, in the slummy, nasty-ass section of town. Also, Princess's funds are on hold currently and needs to report to a bank to get access to them again. And right now, trust is a big issue and problem it's working on. That being said, Crow's father, let me get this. I gotta get names going here, guys. Let's see. Bang. Dots. Yes. Director Ashfield. Her father is of a company called Global Defense Interests, and they were holding a meeting with a conference with, which was a Watcher Summit, and the Watchers from Operation Stopwatch was the original Interface Zero name for the organization. It's now grown into, originally its organization was to watch for rogue AIs and psychic threats, but now there are people that genetically modify themselves with different DNA from different animals, like horses, oxes. It kind of gives you the multi-human type of element to this game, like you might get in Shadowrun or whatever, but it's through gene therapy that they've done that. But the Watchers were basically to keep an eye on all these abnormalities, and the Purity Act wants to stop the production of these genetic abnormalities and also control anyone, like license any psychic or other type of thing, to keep everything control, to let the human race progress pure. And apparently Mr. Ashfield was quite a person, and he was angered at the death of his Alexander Snow, and he proposed to try and spread this act to other countries and nations. And in other news, the Racial Purity Act was causing a lot of, tension already, and the German Chancellor has spoken against this Genetic Purity Act, kind of saying that over 150 years ago his country was stained by a madman's one for genetic purity, and he's now vocally standing against any country that wishes to provoke such an act, and is asking for other countries of like-minded thing to join up and ally with him, which is creating a great hotpot all over the death of Princess's daddy. That being said, we have like the ghetto up. I'm going to just show people with what we're doing here. That's a nice. That purple actually looks really good on the screen, though. It does, doesn't it? It does really look good there. So let's turn that back off. There we go. This here is like home sweet home in this area. Somebody pointed out the fact that the vehicles aren't facing right. Well, that's because in this neck of the woods, no one gives a fuck. That's why the vehicles are parked whichever direction. The buildings over here, apparently my mouse is not showing up because I said don't show me the mouse. Show me the mouse. Properties. Capture cursor is supposed to be on. Maybe I have to click on it first so it realizes there's a cursor. But, oh well, the C-shaped building you see there, and like basically all the buildings around where the letter H is, that is home for Atlas and her father. And those are 3-story brownstone buildings, and they have like 6 apartments, 2 on each floor, and they extend east. They keep on going, and some of them, the walls are broken, and people have put wooden planks between the walls to make, extra space and connected buildings and gangs kind of hanging out there, crack houses, all that kind of stuff. Actually, in this day and age, a lot of them is the better than life video type of things where people just plug in and forget everything and waste away in corners. All the buildings around them, the C-shaped building and all that, are actually several stories tall apartment complexes or buildings that are all run down and old that you've got there. But this is the home, and of course, VitRabbit's comment out of character was, "I hope you don't, value your house." Why the DM's made a map of the area, so yeah, he's just, what's just so you know where you're gonna be. I'm just saying. It's good.
No, it's not. Stop playing. You've made a map. Things are going down.
It's gonna be fine. Nothing wrong can happen
You mean
here.
fine as in what they say in Ocean's 11, right?
It's been a while since I've seen Ocean's 11.
I gotta remember which one it is.
First one.
Out, insecure, nervous. I forgot what E means.
Oh, yeah, I now remember the scene you're talking about, yeah. Alright, so, the truck here, by the way, the truck that's right by the letter H, this guy here, which we like to move around and use as a marker, that is the delivery truck that they're no longer driving a nice armored, it's a VTOL, which is nice. Hal can just drop the vehicle down to where it needs to be, but that is is that a new dog icon, Razzie? The little things, it's like, wait, is that a new dog icon? So effectively, that's where we're going. Oh, you had a disconnect and a reconnect there, Elegant Syntax?
Yeah, I'm coming back in.
Cool, that's good.
Oh, but whose slot she's gonna take?
Oh, no, the camera's still there. The camera seems to be okay.
No, Fantasy Ground just crashed on me.
Oh, Eve, stop it. Eve, stop. All right.
Must have been that failed hack roll.
Yeah, probably was.
Okay.
Hey, I just found our escape route, guys.
I just found our escape
Don't need to escape. Also, there's enough holes in the house. Probably any direction's a good escape.
Right there.
Oh, you want to go down in the sewers?
You're gonna get Princess to go into the sewers? Really?
With enough drugs, anything's possible.
I didn't think you'd go that direction, but you're right. Especially if you throw the right ones in. It's not a sewer, it's a lovely garden.
Would you tell her to stop eating the flowers, for the love of God? No.
I don't know, man. I'm recording that future.
Oh, man. So you guys are showing up. Atlas, as you get close to the door, it flies open.
Door? What door?
As the motion detector that your father has set up by the door triggered when you were coming close. The little spy cam he has in the hall registered it was you. He's not really paying attention to the rest of the people as he comes out. And how many people here are familiar with the good old Doc from Back to the Future?
Did you ever get the picture?
Right? I love that. Did you ever get the picture? Sure, I did.
Suit. For the suit.
For the suit? I don't know. No, I didn't. I got just whatever.
Okay.
So, effectively, the actor's name eludes me. Christopher Lloyd. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Christopher Lloyd. Messy hair. Paranoid look on his face. Not as big. This seems to be her father. As he's now just...
Out of the door saying anything, or...
He's like grabbing your shoulders, is going, I've been trying to get a hold of you on your... Who are they?
Is he wearing his pants?
I mean, he probably knows who I am.
Yeah, he
His kind of his pants off.
No.
Because of the thing. Because the thing I asked for.
The thing.
What thing do you ask for?
Well, if I wanted other people to know about the thing, I would have said something other than...
Oh no, everybody's
the
lagging.
thing.
Anyways, he does have pajama bottoms on.
Oh, okay, good.
And a lab coat. And a Cookie Monster t-shirt.
So, like, is the Cookie Monster, like, just like a vintage t-shirt?
It's a vintage t-shirt. He
okay.
still has a cookie, not a celery stick in his hand.
So it's really vintage.
They ruined
like-
Cookie Monster?
Like
Hey, what?
2090, right?
You have ruined my childhood.
What?
You have just ruined my childhood. What? They've ruined Cookie Monster, and I
Yeah,
didn't even know
they made him try veggies instead of cookies later on.
Yeah, but he's the Cookie Monster.
I know. I don't know how that went on. But, you know.
Is he now the Veggie Monster?
Hey, you know what upsets me as a Canadian? They made a Canadian Sesame Street. I grew up on the good old American. I was learning Spanish and everything, and all of a sudden, boom! Voila! There's a French and Canadian version with a moose and stuff like that. I'm like, no, that's not Sesame Street.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, to an American.
I would watch that.
And this old lady that flies in an airplane. That's all. These Canadian flashbacks I'm now getting. My favorite was, you know, the Friendly Giant and Mr. Rogers.
My favorite was the Count.
All right, so
Count Floyd.
Count Floyd. Ooh, very scary stuff.
So I go to my dad. Did you try messaging me?
I did. I sent you a message. I
Did you
posed
hit
as an
send?
I posed as a Norwegian prince with money to donate to the bank.
Dad,
Norwegian, not
you
African.
know
Would you think
better
you've
than
gotten
that.
it? I knew you would have realized the difference.
At least you didn't post it.
We don't need any. He grabs Atlas's arms, shoulders, and pulls her into the room and shuts the door on your friends.
They're with me, Dad. I kind of try to shove them off, and
Okay.
I open the door.
Okay. At that point, he's got an eyebrow kind of up a little higher. He's doing the one squint with the eye, and the other eye's a bit wide. He's just looking at you.
I was like, don't worry. They don't know. They're with me.
They don't.
I want to know now. I'm scared that I might use my power because I want to know.
What do you mean they don't? You haven't been telling them that you don't. How about you all come in for a nice warm cup of tea?
That's just,
I'm not sure I want to go in now.
I'm fine with going in. I'm just not so sure about the tea.
Everyone, it's fine. My dad's just a little eccentric, and he doesn't trust anybody.
At that point, he just kind of pauses.
I look at him. You know it's true.
In the words
What
of
do you
the
mean?
immortal
I'm not-
Shatner, has he had a little too much LDS?
Hell yes. At this point, you just see him kind of going over to the little scan wand as you guys are approaching. Apparently, Mr. Smith sets it off, the metal detector.
I feel like a lot.
They're armed?
We're all armed.
I mean, he can probably see that I'm armed. I have two very large guns that don't hide very well anywhere.
Get in fast, fast. So he lets you guys all in, and he does the whole looking behind you guys as you're looking, and then shuts the door, and the door's got 10 padlocks, right? It's got a couple of lock chains, and at this point you see him reach down. He picks up the metal bar that's in the floor that raises up to the little door jamb. You know the kick bar. He puts a kick bar up against the door.
I'm like, seriously, Dad?
Yeah. By the way, the kick bar hasn't been used in a while, but he's got the kick bar up now. There was an attempt made on your life today at the concert.
It wasn't. Dad, nobody's looking for me.
They're looking for us.
No, they're not looking for us. That's why we're here.
Yes, I know. That's why we're here.
Oh boy.
I like everyone. Let's go in.
By the way,
Let's-
inside you basically have. It looks like this had a kitchenette, a living room, and a bedroom, and a connecting washroom. The living room looks like it's also Atlas's bedroom, as the living room's got a sleeping cot in it. It's got a computer set up. It's got wires, pizza boxes, and gaming magazines. the bedroom, right?
Have you been in my room?
No, I think it's just the default any gamer's room. You know.
Okay.
I know, and then you got the kitchen area, which is a mixture of takeout food, packets and boxes that can be thrown into microwaves, tin cans with spoons still in them, and then you've got the other bedroom, which is his bedroom, which has perfectly made bed sheets and everything's organized and somewhat clean. The doors open only a crack, and a pristine washroom for out here.
Oh, everything's like okay. We're gonna be fine.
And there's also an emergency triage kit that's just sitting by the kitchen, just leaning there, you know, with the pack, the syringe, the gauze balls, all that kind of stuff.
So once everybody's in, I just go, everybody. So this is my dad or my daddy.
I heard you were dead.
Y'all can call him Frank.
Yes.
Hi,
Frank.
I'm Amelia.
Dad, can you go to your room?
Oh, you're Amelia? And who's your other friend? And at that point, Crow says it. She's Amelia. Can I see your IDs?
Dad, you don't need to do that.
What are the chances of these two people having the exact same first name?
Quite good,
Incredibly
actually. Good some of
likely.
the number of people in the world.
What year were they born? Flip, flip, flip. The common year, the name in that year, guessing on their ages, would have been a Susan. There would have been a higher chance of getting the name Susan at that time of that birth year. That was a popular name because of a TV show.
Of course, our
Let's
parents
Kiss
didn't
Susan.
want to be like everybody else.
There was no Amelias in any sitcom, TV show, or any other thing that usually determines the name of children nowadays.
You're not wrong.
It's entirely possible that their parents were friends.
French? Yes, they could. That could be the
Friends.
problem. Oh, friends.
And
Friends
also,
don't let friends name their kids the same name.
You have never talked to me about.
Also, what's wrong with France?
Nothing's wrong with France. I actually want to go to France. Very open-minded, literally.
I think I like you.
Yeah!
It's like we just need a place, Dad.
Then there's
where,
a
like,
ding
it can be
sound
calm.
as you see him go, oh, pauses, goes into his bedroom, and at this point you see he's working at something at the side of the bedroom, which you just see him, there's something on a counter that you can't see because the door's open a bit, but he's taken the lid off, and there's a whole bunch of little test tubes with liquids in them on this round circular thing that they just all hang in, and he seems to adjust it, and then he sticks it back on whatever it is, and there's a slight whirring sound going on again, and then he shuts the door. Yes?
No, we're fine. We've had a very rough night.
Have you been shot? At this point, he's quickly going to the triage kit, and he just kind of pauses, he kind of goes to like the one little part of the triage kit, and he gives it a slap, and then this white foam goes onto his hands. And his hands are like sterile.
None of us need to be cleaned up, do we?
I mean, I'm fine.
Okay, yeah, no, Dad, we're fine.
Let me get you guys some tea. He kind of heads over to the counter.
About this tea.
The tea is fine.
All right.
He would be a lovely dad.
I probably don't say that super loud, just to Alex.
I go like I know it's not as nice as like the apartment that we were just at, but like nobody's gonna ever come here.
Did you think?
By the way,
that
Mr.
was
Smith,
nice?
you're picking up. You know how some people can get pressure headaches because of the storm coming in? Mr. Smith's getting a little bit of a headache of all the electromagnetic dampening and other little electronic or metal pieces that are used to help scramble electronic signals around the apartment.
At least I do have EMP shielding, which is good.
Yep. Oh yeah. But basically, it's more like.
Well, we don't need it here.
Oh yeah. Well, here it's like doubled. It's like woof. But yeah. But basically, there's like some sort of a static. There's a connection cage around. By the way, Atlas, you would have your own route out of this metal cage.
Yeah. Oh yeah. My connections and stuff are.
Just run a hard line outside. You're okay.
We're pretty much doing that.
Do we still have Jacobs?
Yeah.
Jacob's still in the car.
Tied up in the back of the truck.
No, he's
We
watching.
probably have the robot, our robot there guarding Jacobs.
No, actually, I'm not sure what Jacobs is doing. Jacobs is also having his own panic, in a way of speaking, because he's now being cut off to his main source and who he's supposed to report to, and he has no idea what to do, and now we're in this ghetto place.
It's okay. I'm gonna pat him if he's in the room. I'm gonna pat him on the head and say, "Now I'm your boss."
Oh, here's a breakdown.
So I check the media again. Like I'm
No
looking.
problem. The toaster seems to ping. This little brick of something comes out of the toaster. He then kind of hot gets it. Then he cracks it up into a pot and then starts adding water to it. And you see steam starting to rise.
He's making tea.
What?
That doesn't look like tea.
What is that?
I'm used to
What
this.
is that?
This is how I get tea.
He's basically heating up a brick of used tea leaves.
What? I don't,
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Hot water's now being added to it. There we go. And then you guys are all given a cup of grayish, brownish tea.
I immediately take a sip.
I will be polite.
After blowing on it a little bit, like.
Get
He does believe that today's mix is morning breakfast with a bit of Earl Grey mixed with a bit of chai. That's what they had in the dumpsters anyways.
Yeah.
I will politely sip my tea.
Ooh, it's like all dressed, but for tea. Each mouthful is definitely a zinger. You got that spice of chai, the bergamot from the Earl Grey, and the nice bitterness of the black tea mixed all together.
Hal is going to politely refuse the tea. I'm working. I
can't drink on
that while I'm working.
It's tea. I don't think he knows what tea
We
is.
don't want to impair my driving abilities.
So do I see any, like, is there any new updates on what's going on? Like, has they even talked about like what kind of was going down at the apartments and the coffee shop? Like, has that made the news or?
It has. They're basically Rogue News has got it, but the basically the global news, it's not showing up.
Okay.
But, because apparently on a large scale, it's not being mentioned because it's so close to the rich area. But the rogue camera people that were in the area, or whatever rogue journalists,
The
grabbed.
tweet news.
Exactly. Got some bits and pieces. So basically, it tells you that either it's being played down, or they're not wanting to talk about it. Do you know what I mean? Like they're definitely the different levels.
They don't want to announce their moves.
Yeah.
And...
Or they just don't want to
acknowledge
worry
their
the rich
failures.
people in the area.
Okay. And no news on Crow's dad? Is it Crow's dad the one that's reportedly dead?
Director, yeah.
No, that's my dad.
Oh,
Oh
sorry.
no, that's sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Well,
think you said
no new news on any of the dads.
no. Technically, though, it's still like 3 a.m. in the morning and no one slept. Effectively,
Yeah.
enough adrenaline and that going through you guys that sleep is probably not an option. But
Well,
I don't know. I'm pretty
Hey, Alice, can you check one more thing for me? with your ability on the internet?
Yeah, sure, I can
Can you
Google.
check on my old unit that I used to work in? See if there's any word of anyone else in my old unit that might have survived, be alive
Yeah.
yet.
Can you tell me a little bit about your unit?
Basically, he's able to give you his coat, like the squad. The company he worked for was Bara Corporations, which basically the corporate wars got to the point where it was a resource grab, and some companies started grabbing some South American and Central American resources, and this came out to an all-out policing action between the corporations to defend their rights, which is now known as the corporate wars. And this wasn't directly in these streets, but this was like, the corporations hired security teams to go down and protect their assets. Bear Corporation did not survive in the end, and its company went defunct and was bought up by other companies. But that's the stuff you go on for a search. Don't really into the hacking. Do you have a regular? Just wait a second though.
Okay, sorry, Zoom lagged out on me there for a second.
Do we need to give her a name for the guy that I'm thinking of? That I heard on the radio?
Yeah.
Like Carl?
Carl works. Carl works, yes. Investigation skill. You'd be doing an investigation skill roll on this one.
Okay.
With a +2 bonus, which I see exploding dice, so we are amazing.
+2.
We are amazing. All right, what you're able to get is that corporation effectively. You hear that a vertibird, basically a troop transport that has the rotating blades that can tilt upwards, and the VTOL type of cargo craft, went down in the jungle, and the entire squad, except for one person who suffered severe injuries to his body, they were all dead except for Hal. He lost his arm and a few ribs and part of his shoulder bone and all that kind of stuff, and he was basically saved somewhat in the disastrous crash and gunfire that ensued by the ambushing team by the bodies of his fellow comrades.
So I've gotten like Hal's kind of backstory. Did I find anything else about
that's part of your trauma, by the way, seeing your friends become bullet shields and all that kind of stuff, and you being left for dead because you were really shocked, But,
I assume he hadn't told me that before, so I kind of look at him like, oh my god.
Not even Princess knows my backstory as far as what I.
And then
was.
there's that question.
I
Do you think she ever
say
asked?
anything? I'm like just whoa.
But that's the general stuff. The company was basically the company collapsed after the corporate war. It was liquidated and split up into different factions, different organizations bought into it. With your 20, you have got Barra Corporations went into 3 different companies. There was a Kronos Exploration, which were more along the lines of communications that Barra played around with. There was Giltech Robotics, which actually took up some of the other experimental research development that was going on through Barra Corporations. But one of the things with the freaking 20 on there, you've got the killed in action report for his team, but 4 of the people, one of which the Carl person he told you to investigate, their bodies were never released for burial.
So 4 bodies were never released?
For burial.
Yeah, okay. So I pretty much...
And that was hidden. That basically that was with your 20 there. You kind of... It's not the fact that,
the rest of it was obvious.
It was generally available, but, the body's not released, and then no one followed up on it. So if you backtrack, there is no final release date for those bodies. So 4 bodies, were gone. The part that the mercenary unit was a part of with some of the experimental tech that they were talking about, was bought up by the Giltech Robotics.
Yeah, so I go, so are you familiar with Giltech Robotics? They're four people that were with you, and I get a really concerned face when I say with you. Like, it is just like, I look heartbroken. That were with you when that happened. Their body, they never had a funeral. And
Fascinating.
do you know what Giltech would have been working on? What were some of the technologies?
Well, you can you can do a general search information on Giltech if you want.
Yeah, I'll do that too. Yep. Just investigation again, or?
Yep. Giltech is just robotics. Their specialty is from housemaids to the little mall mart robots that walk around for transaction purchases, home and consumer use robotics.
Yeah, so I got so were you, the company you were working for, were they doing anything that would be interesting to a robotics company?
Hal, I will let you know, you were part of an attempt for some augmented skeletals. Like, basically, they were playing around with like what they call golems. The golem tech and all that they have in this thing. They were looking at doing super soldiers of sorts. Like, not really just through genetics. This was more like an augmented suit. The type that you put in 1%, it multiplies it to 10%, so you got faster speed and strength. No, that type of stuff. It wasn't that uncommon, not really that illegal at all. It's just everyone's trying to make their own super soldier that's not cyber. They were basically trying to avoid cybernetics or genetics. They were just trying to have suits. More was their focus.
Right. And I'm wondering if they might not have also been the ones that redid my arm and hand.
They did. Yeah,
So-
because they replaced your arm. That was thing is the cybernetic
Because it
arm and all that
makes
stuff
sense
didn't
that
actually
all
come from.
bodies went to the same location, and I was still alive. So, if maybe they brought the other bodies to the same location where they fixed my arm up and my hand up, since the bodies weren't claimed and no burials.
What else did they do to them?
Gotcha. Oh, okay. I think I actually got a picture of one of the suits this time. I think for the people, I actually made a image of. I just got a thing about the suits. But again, when you say that, I just have. Oh yes, that does work. So give me a second. Library. So, I'm sorry. I'm talking on something here. Sorry, guys.
Just out of
Well,
curiosity,
thank you for that information, Atlas.
while they're doing their thing, is there any place to sit down or lay down or?
Oh,
Yeah. There's actually a not bad comfy couch. There's a beanbag chair. There is
Stack of newspapers.
3 or 4 of those type of plastic outdoor chairs kind of in here.
If you're small enough, you can ride the flamingo.
I think I'm gonna take the blanket out
Is
of
it
my
the middle
bag.
image?
I'm on the beanbag chair because that's the one right by my computer.
That's cool. I've laid out my blanket and gone to sleep.
Okay.
Which picture?
It's all good. I wasn't sharing it. It's all that. We'll talk about that more. All right.
Closest thing to it would be the ghost suit off of page 50.
Yeah, but there's 3 images on page 50.
Far left.
Far left, WC. And that's what. All right. Sorry,
Yeah,
guys.
that's their answer to it. So I figured it's probably similar.
Oh, what they were? You mean what the company was working on?
That's the closest thing the Black Knights have to
Yeah.
what Shinobi has.
Yeah. 50. Yes. This. You have to own the book.
Minus
to
the
know.
helmet. I'd be having the helmet off. So currently,
What you have? Okay. That's what Mr. Smith's wearing underneath his. Is that what you're saying? That
oh no, let's see. So you're looking at A then.
A. All right. I was about to say that's a bit chunky.
Yeah, no, that's the far right one. So yeah, it'd be A.
This one
That's it. Yeah, only yeah,
without the helmet.
yeah. Just
And for male.
Yeah.
Or maybe female.
And he's got his combats on over top, so.
Okay.
That's what my original character was gonna wear.
I did have a picture for the people that were coming after you guys. I think you've already seen that, the riot suits.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
I think I showed you guys that.
Yeah, when we got the truck and everything else, and Smith pulled his baggage out of the back of the car,
Yeah.
one of the duffels, that's the suit he pulled out of it and put it on while we're coming here.
Oh, okay.
And then put the fatigues over top.
Gotcha.
Hal just wears his leather jacket, so
Rest
He's
of
a
us
tunnel
are all
snake
wearing-
for life. Sorry. Alrighty.
Nice tea.
So, other than that, at this point, as you guys got enjoying the tea, Frank kind of looks over to Atlas and does a very obvious, like he wants to talk to her in
So I
private.
get up and I just put my
As you kinda-
my drink down. I go, 1 second, guys, and I go with my father.
Yeah. Oh, you froze again a little bit there. Oh, there we go. Alrighty. So, alright, he basically goes into the room and he quickly asks, what's going on? What, you know, he's heard the concert was hit by gunfire, he's all this kind of thing, and
I go, the concert was hit by gunfire, and the other two ladies, they're in a whole different class than we are. and they're
well, he figured that, even though they're wearing hoodies. Did you see the price of the tag on the shoes they're wearing?
No, I didn't look it up. But they're the ones who are being targeted. They're
So why did you bring them here? That echoes out of the bed. Why did you bring them here then? Kind of just echoes out of the bedroom.
Dad, if there's one thing you ever taught me, is that here is the safest place in the world.
It wasn't until you brought them here.
Nobody is gonna even think.
Are they bugged? Are they being tracked?
No, everything's turned off.
Did any of them have anal sex?
I don't think so. But that is.
Is that echoing too?
We don't.
They can sneak a bug anywhere. That's all I'm saying.
I know they can, but like, don't worry. If anybody finds us here, they were gonna find us here anyway, right?
I don't think so. I would like to argue with that conclusion. I think we would have been perfectly fine eating our bricks of tea if you hadn't brought them here. Who are they anyways? They look too rich for your blood. No offense. Our blood.
They're friends that I met in the game that I play.
Which game you play?
Oh, it's
I
good.
only play one regularly lately.
Is that the one that had the freaking Zeke fanatics on it?
Yeah, that one.
They killed them. The designers. I know a game can be bad at times, but killing the designers, what do they think they were? EA?
The history's the history. The game's still kind of fun, but these are my friends. And
They're not using you, are you? Are they?
no. They every time they're awesome. They don't even really care that I'm broke.
They want something.
You're not broke.
Well,
Technically,
You're the
I'm
richest one here right now.
Broke.
right now I'm the wealthiest one. How are my stocks doing?
Actually, pretty good.
Awesome.
Oh wait, no, nothing, no change yet because we're waiting for the morning. Remember when this? Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So I guess we can't go down to the corner store for a coffee here.
No.
Okay.
Corner
What
stores.
if there's other stuff you want at the corner?
The corner store here is literally either that or in a whole other division. You have to go blocks, like, for a conventional corner store.
This could be good.
But Dad, look, like, we need a place. We won't stay here long. But we just...
Rezu with the sunglasses on. Oh yeah, that must have felt really good, kicking Puma in the shins.
We're not gonna stay here long. We know it's not safe to sit still. We need a place where we can have a minute to breathe and figure out what we're gonna do.
Well, what are you going to do? What are they? Why were they targeted?
I'm really trying not to say any names that would indicate who they are. Because I know my dad, and also about his certain opinions on certain rules that may or may not.
Oh yeah.
No, they're important people.
Their parents must be worried.
They are. They're very worried.
Then why do they care?
Because we can't really get in touch with their parents.
Typical rich kid parents.
What floor are we on?
You're on the ground floor.
Oh, we were on the second floor.
No. Ground floor.
Easier to run away from the ground floor.
That was the design. All right.
We're close to the front door.
But they're gone in the morning then, are they?
Yeah, well, we just need some time to figure out what we're doing.
Well,
Just
don't
go
expect me to
back.
cook up a special batch of Mr. Noodles for them tomorrow.
No. Just go back to your lab and work on your projects. We'll be as quiet as we can possibly be.
All right.
Be
Turns to the
cool,
left.
Dad. These are my friends.
Damn it! I should have drugged the D.
No.
Don't worry, they would have just slapped. Then we could have done a whole scan of them and checked their rectums.
Dad, no. You're not allowed.
If Morty was here... Oh, wait, sorry. Wrong character. All right.
Thanks, Daddy. Like, please just...
Oh, my centrifuge just stopped now, so I will check the samples.
Yeah. Go back to your lab. I come out and I go, okay, everybody. Be quiet.
No, G-Force. I thank you very much, but I don't want to install my new game driver.
I think that's why Fantasy Ground crashed earlier.
Damn you, NVIDIA!
So, was your father abducted at some point?
No, he's had it pretty rough, especially around the time that I was born. It was a hard time for him.
That cat dough, Puma. Done.
He's trying to take over my keyboard too here while we're at it.
Oh, I just saw the tail
As long
the camera.
as long as it doesn't mess with the camera here, his tail's gonna move my camera. Sorry.
We suddenly get that flick, and it's like that news.
convince
Whenever
him
you see
to-
those horror films when the cameraman gets shot, and you see the camera just gonna go like this, you know. Alrighty. So Princess is trying to get some sleep. Crow kind of follows the same suit. She kind of finds somewhere to crash as well.
I find a spot by the front bay windows and
Yeah.
settle in so I can watch the street.
You got you. Yep.
Are the windows one way here?
Actually,
I'd be surprised if you can actually see out.
Actually, you don't have access to the bay windows. The bay windows are part of the foyer front part, and then effectively you've got the stairwell, and then the doors to the apartments left and right up the brownstone. So unfortunately, those nice windows are not available.
Is there a corner window?
Yeah, there is a small corner window, but the blinds have been pulled down on it.
Okay.
You open them?
Take position there. And
Did you open the blinds?
then realize that when I sort of push them aside to look out, there's tinfoil.
Yes! There is tinfoil on those windows. you stole my thunder. And then you get a little bit, you get that kind of little tingling in this corner of your jaw there. It's like, then you like...
I will go upstairs to the roof.
That means you have to pass by the other floors of the other apartment dwellers.
That's okay.
All right, on the second floor, there's no one else on the other floor. There's this, basically you got Frank and Atlas and nobody in the other apartment, right? Though it looks like it has been inhabited by homeless people at some point. The door lock doesn't seem to be that sturdy. The next floor up, you are greeted by several weird-looking cats. Several cats. Some of them missing
You
pieces of
say
fur.
cat,
Oh my
you
god!
talking cats, or are you talking people cats?
Nope, cats. Just cats. Basically, they are not healthy. They look like they lived on these type of streets for some of them were...
Maybe the occupants of the room building across from Atlas.
And effectively, you just kind of have one of the doors open where the cat's going in and out, and you can actually see there is the sound of a rocking chair and a dozen more cats inside, and a TV that's just playing some sort of old soap opera, and there's just an individual rocking in that chair with a shotgun across her lap.
She's alive.
In the morning.
She's a cat lady.
She's alive?
Yep.
They haven't started eating her yet. Okay, good.
Nope, they haven't started eating her yet.
Okay.
The other side of the building has a bunch of mattresses and a bunch of individuals strewn out on mattresses. Some of them, their clothes are stuck to their body with sweat and all that kind of stuff, and they all have like VR helmets on or trodes on the side of their heads.
Okay.
The upstairs one basically smells of bird shit, as the roof seems to have been broken in spots and no one lives on these upper two levels, and just full of birds and stuff kind of just floating around. Again, the more rougher looking carrion kind of birds, like the crows, have kind of even mutated a little bit, where they got a little bit more ridges and little bones on them, and they speak Klingon. I mean, that's how tough this place is. I mean, just...
Is it possible to find a way to that corner?
Which corner?
Front left.
Yep.
Or
Basically above the house.
the corner of the block, yeah.
Yep. So basically, if north is the top of the map, you're looking at the southwest corner.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Oh yeah, you can get up onto the roof of that. You can get up into the roof. Bird shit's up there. There is a